Did you guys know that there are not one, not two, but 7 user preset buttons on your JVC camera? And they're all programmable. Let's check them out. You've got 3 up here, 3 down here, and 1 at the grip by the zoom servo and record trigger. All of the buttons are labeled, and they're labeled with the function that came pre-programmed on those buttons by JVC. Some of them you may find useful, like OIS stands for Optical Image Stabilization. I use that all the time. I pretty much keep it on. But some of these buttons aren't very useful, like Lolux. It's terrible. You'd probably like to change it to something more useful. So let's talk about how you do that. Pull up the menu, select Camera Function, your first option. Now the option we want is the very end, so you can scroll down or you can do what I do and just go up 1, and that will take you to User Switch Set. We'll select it. And here are your 7 user buttons, 1 through 7. But there are actually more buttons on here. In fact, there are a lot of buttons that you can reprogram. We're not going to go into that today, but we will select User 3, which on this camera, this is the pull camera, has been changed to 1 push focus. If you wanted to change that to something else, select it, and you're given a list of different options. There's a wide variety here, all kinds of stuff. You can even turn the button off if you want. So let's scroll through some of these options and have a look at what we've got. Face detect's an interesting one. You might find this useful. So say this is your shot. This is the shot you've got composed right here. And you are shooting someone who's off to the side over here. Instead of being in the middle, where autofocus usually focuses in on, face detect will search for the face of the person you're shooting video of. So if you're shooting an interview and the person's kind of justified to one side or the other and they're moving around a little bit, you might push that preset button to pull up face detect and it could find that face. Now it's autofocus, so it's only right about 50% of the time. It may focus on a potted plant or a picture on the wall or anything, but that could be an option that you might experiment with and see if it's useful to you. Another one I like is coming up here in a second, expanded focus. Let's select it. We've chosen it and we will exit the menu. Now let's talk about how you use expanded focus. You're shooting video of a person, you're interviewing a person, but they're moving around a little bit. So you punch up the expanded focus, and up here in yellow you see expanded. So it basically digitally zooms in, but that will not be reflected on your clip. Only you, the camera operator, see the digital zoom. So how is this useful? Say you're interviewing someone, they're shifting around in the chair, they're kind of walking around a little bit. You had them in focus when you started the shot, but now they've kind of moved out of focus. You can punch up the expanded focus option. It will digitally zoom in on them, and then you can kind of check your focus. Remember, the back focus on these cameras does not work. You cannot zoom in on something, focus, and then zoom out and expect it to stay in focus. So this is a good option to help you focus. But there are a ton of options, and there's 7 user switch buttons on here. So go through the menu, look at your different options, and program something that's useful to you.